Good afternoon, folks. Robert Chappell here, Executive Editor of Madison365 with your daily update for Tuesday, June 7th. We'll jump right into the COVID situation today. Not great news today, guys. 1,824 is the new 7-day average of new cases. That includes 1,586 new cases just confirmed today. Our percentage of positive tests, however, remains at 13.2%. Which is lower than it was Friday, which is at 14. I think the slight increase in confirmed cases and the percentage of positive tests falling indicates at least slightly increased testing since the holiday weekend. Right, we didn't have very much testing on that weekend, that long weekend. But we probably have had more since then, which would, first of all, uncover more positive tests, but also bring in a higher number of negative tests, which would drive down the percentage of positives. Hospitalizations also up slightly today. We're back over 400 currently hospitalized. In fact, we're at 406, which is slightly higher than yesterday. I'm sorry, 401, which is 6 higher than yesterday. Sorry, I misspoke. That's 25 more than a week ago. So not a big increase, but a modest increase. 65 of those folks are in the ICU. That's 3 more than yesterday and 14 more than a week ago. So again, very increasing hospitalizations, but very modest increases. We are now back to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 counties are in the high community level. A lot of those northwestern counties that had slipped back down to medium are back up to high. So Douglas County, Bayfield, Sawyer, and Burnett counties up in the northwest portion of the state are all in that high range. Central, North Central has been in the high range the whole time. Marathon, Lincoln, Wood counties. The southeastern portion of the state is actually a little better. Washington, Ozaukee, Milwaukee, Waukesha counties, all high, but Kenosha and Racine are back down to medium. So most of the state is back to green, like the low level. Again, these are the newish CDC guidelines that take into account both case levels as well as hospitalization levels. The one other note is that our confirmed deaths per day is now up to 7. Right, that's still lower than it was. Right, back in 2020, that was regularly, for a long period of time, for months, that was over 30 per day. So 7 is still 7 people, guys. Again, these are not deaths that happen or that are happening every day this week. These are deaths that are being confirmed every day this week, which means they happened over the past month. So that may continue to go up. That may get into double digits. Don't want it to. But still, that's much lower than we were seeing during Omicron and much, much lower than we were seeing during the beta wave back in November, December of 2020. But still, too high. 34.6% of us are boosted. 64.5% have gotten at least one dose of the vaccine. And 61.3% have completed the series. So we have ways to go in terms of vaccinations. We know kids can get boosted now. They're getting awfully close to approving an emergency use authorization for kids aged 6 months to 5 years. So we're getting there in the vaccine front. All right, we're going to take a short pause. We're going to hear from a sponsor, and we'll be back right after this with some more state, local, and national news. Don't go away.
Apply yourself this summer. At Madison College, we encourage you to be your truest self. You're an empowered persuader. You exude positivity, and you're not afraid to stand up for what you believe in. Whether it's cool clothes or hot music, your friends count on you to zhuzh it up. For you, life is all about creating a brighter future. And at Madison College, we can't wait to see what you do. Apply yourself this summer.
All right, I want to commend to you a podcast, or if you're a visual person, if you scroll down on our Facebook feed, you'll see this video. We have the whole video on Facebook. You can just click it and watch it. Or you can go to if you're a podcast person like I am, go to wherever you get your podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Overcast, whatever, and find Real Talk with Henry Sanders. You'll find an archive of interviews and stuff. But what I want to tell you is the most recent one. It's Real Talk on gun violence. What we had is, you can see here the participants in this panel discussion. On the upper left there, Corey Saffold, former school resource officer at Madison West, now the director of security at Verona Schools. Sean Barnes, the police chief here at Madison. Pardeep Singh Kaleka from the Interfaith Coalition of Greater Milwaukee, also a former police officer, also affected by gun violence as his father was shot and killed in the Sikh temple shooting back in 2012, if you remember that. And then Ali Muldrow, the Madison School Board president and co-executive director of GSAFE. They had a really authentic and frank and difficult conversation about gun violence. Really maybe the most pressing issue facing us right now. So it was it's not an easy thing to talk about in 1 hour, right? But they did their best, and I think you might learn something and at least get some fresh perspectives on that important issue. Juneteenth is coming up, folks. Not this Sunday, but next. June 19th is Juneteenth, and we will have several stories coming up in the next week or so about a variety of Juneteenth events that are happening around the state. The one we have up today is previewing the Sun Prairie event, which is the 4th annual event in Sun Prairie. And this is the first time they're going to 2 days. It's going to be Friday the 17th and Saturday the 18th. There's going to be the first day is at the library, the second day is at a park. If you go to Madison365.org, you can get all the details. They're going to have a basketball tournament, food, DJ. Martinez White is going to be DJing there, and also have sort of a resource fair, Sunshine Place, Neighborhood House, all local resources there for folks who might need them. Also today, Governor Tony Evers announced $1 million investment in a variety of employment initiatives and job training. This is like summer youth employment, right? Summer job training and stuff for organizations including Employ Milwaukee, the City of Milwaukee, Milwaukee Public Library, and Milwaukee Public Schools are all going to receive some funds, including $500,000 for a pilot project in partnership with the City of Milwaukee to establish an earn and learn model for 10 and 15-year-olds to get not only a job, but learn some stuff and get some job training and on-the-job experience over the summer. In national news, there's a new quarter out just yesterday honoring Wilma Mankiller, who was the first woman chief of a major indigenous nation. She was the chief of the Cherokee Nation from 1985 to 1995. She signed a historic treaty with the United States government in 1990, and just really advocated for indigenous rights and was a pivotal figure through the 60s, 70s, 80s, when a lot of those indigenous nations were sort of reinstated, were like reforming, and were like a lot of advocacy happening. And she was one of those leaders, and she is now honored by being on the back of the new quarter that just came out yesterday. And that is all we have for you today. I hope you have a wonderful evening, and we'll continue to follow the COVID numbers. I hope they start to get better tomorrow. We'll see. I doubt it. But and until then, have a wonderful evening. Stay safe. Take care of each other. Talk to you soon.
This is 365 Media.